Welcome to the Motivation Lab. So I want to give you in brief the idea behind it. How did I conceive of this? Well, the first way I really thought about this was because in one of my last stops, so I worked at two Fortune 100 companies for close to 30 years, and I used to use unconventional ways, or maybe not so unconventional ways, to find the means to inspire people, right? So I used to read children's books, for example, which I'm sure a lot of people thought was really weird. Or I would do something probably a little more conventional, and I would take a newspaper story and I would ask my team at the end of a meeting to examine some of the characteristics about the story and then think about how it may have impacted them. So I was always looking for ways to introduce motivation into a place that was about business. We were transacting business, right? But I wanted to give people a framework to think about inspiration. So the idea for the Motivation Lab is this. One, every week I'm going to give you content, and that content may be a video, it may be an audio story, it may be a blog post, but in that content I'm going to provide you something that I find motivating and inspiring. So that's one part of it. The second part of it is that I'll ask you something provocative, a question, something that you can use a framework for yourself so that you can reflect back on the material. If you don't want to, you do not have to. You can just accept the content and hopefully be inspired and motivated every week, because that's the idea, to create a place of light, to create a place of inspiration. Now, this subscription is the content portion of my larger membership site. I am not pitching the larger membership site to you. What I am sharing with you is the content site, which is $4.97 every single month, and it is the content that I just described. So I am fascinated, and I will be looking at historical figures, for example, or movies, or books, or poetry, or events that provide the context and the background for things that inspire us. So in my very first post, I focused on the poem Invictus by William Ernest Henley, and I shared his background. But you could also think about other people I've already written about, for example, like Muhammad Ali or Babe Dietrich and Harris, but also contradictory figures like Winston Churchill and Mahatma Gandhi, who were enemies in life, for example. Enemies may be too strong of a word. They were adversaries in life. But I'm fascinated because you can find motivating things and inspiring elements from virtually any place. I want to create a place, again, of light, but I also want to create a community where, if you want to, the members can aggregate their information for the community. So I will ask you a question, and you can respond in the comments section, for example, at my Facebook page, IamJosephRupp.com. Now, for members, there's going to be a separate site that is exclusive to them called the Motivation Lab. And that's also tied to my Facebook page. I don't think you could find it right now. It exists. But you can find the I Am Joseph Rupp and you can post. Now, if you want to join the subscription, and I really hope you do, then you can sign up at the links I have provided in this post. Thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate your attention, and I hope you really get value. Ultimately, that's the idea, to provide value, content in a way that inspires you and lifts you up. Thanks for stopping by.